week ago about how drones can be used in natural disaster relief efforts, and I was saying, drones for saving lives is great and all, but really it's all about creating convenience, right? That's when and joking, but that is, kidding, not kidding, right? That's what's really most important to most people, right? Is how is this going to create value in my life in a way that I can go spend more time out on the greenway while my drone is going and getting my groceries, or doing watering my garden, fertilizing my yard, or tasks like that no one really wants to do, but it's just part of home ownership. And
many people in my generation watch the Jetsons.
Yep.
The drones are the first version of the Jetsons.
Yep.
We can't safely put independent people in the air and let them just fly around wherever they want, right? But with some good safety regulations and with some good policies in place, we can allow, what do you call it, autonomous?
Yeah, autonomous drone operations. Yeah, and that's the villages. Using the senior example, they're one of the big adopters of using drones for doing prescription deliveries by and large. But it's still that same sort of point that you're talking to. Just my grandfather, we actually put him in a assisted living care facility, and same sort of deal. Of course, wants to go out and about, but really doesn't have that sort of independence to be able to do so, at least safely speaking. Which I on one hand obviously don't want to put anyone's life at risk unnecessarily, but I do feel like there is also maybe too much of a push for safety and security. Now, and again, I get it, right? Everyone wants a good prosperous life for them and their family. However, this country was built on land of the free, home of the brave, right? The whole ideals of this.
I think you've also got to deal with a privacy scenario with drones. I've been to several Christmas events where a kid got a new drone and all of a sudden it comes crashing into our backyard, right? Like there's just some sophistication we've got to mold along this way.
And I think it's, there's problems that people will bring up specific to drones, but you go look at any technology, right? Again, using cars as an example, they were toys for rich people, right? And there's still a lot of talk about, banning cars, making them more difficult to own because the risk that they pose to people, and, how many deaths are caused, each year due to accidents. But to me, where we should have the ability to own and operate a drone, again, using me sending it over to my neighbor's house, there is no legal pathway for me to be able to do that right now unless I am outside watching the drone the entire time. There's no obstruction between it taking off and it landing, unless you want to become a commercial drone operator, go through a waiver process, and at that point you pretty much have to be a large enterprise to get anywhere to get those sort of waivers. To me, it's why can I not just share a cup of sugar or flour with my neighbor? And if my drone, worst case scenario, were to fall out of the sky, land on someone's head, we already have a law for that called manslaughter, right? If my drone that I'm responsible for, falls out of the sky and kills someone, we don't need a law to make a criminal out of someone saying, hey, just for you flying your drone over to your neighbor's house while you weren't watching it, you're a criminal now. We're going to fine you or arrest you.
So Jacob, I think artificial intelligence